ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं अद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता शिविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी कृपानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो नमः। ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
गदाधर
श्रीवासादि
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम
राम हरे
राम राम हरे हरे।
गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम तत्सत. So we are
हरे कृष्ण
reading from Mukundamala Stotra by Kulashekar Alvar. Okay, we are continuing the first sloka. So before we start the purport of that sloka, let's all recite once the first sloka. Okay. So Tarini Mataji, can you please recite the first sloka?
Prabhuji, but I didn't memorize the sloka, Prabhuji.
Okay. I'll do it.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Dayapareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavaluntana Kovite Deti Nateti Nagashayaneti Jagannivaseti Alapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunta. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sachi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। श्रीवल्लभेदि वरदेदि दयापरेति भक्तप्रियेदि भवलुण्ठनकोविदेति नादेदि नागशयनेदि जगन्निवासेदि आलापिनं प्रतिदिनं कुरु मां मुकुन्द।
Arun Prabhu, can you? Prabhu, next time, Prabhu. Prince Prabhu, you want to try?
Yes, Prabhuji will try. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
श्रीवल्लभावेति वरदेति दयापरेति भक्ता प्रियेति भावलुथन कोविदेति नाथेति नागशयनेति जगन्निवाससेति अलपीनां प्रतिदिनं कुरु मम मुकुन्द।
Very bold. Shri Vallabheti Varadeति Dayapăreti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavaluntana Kovideti Natheti Nagashayaneti Jagannivaseti Alapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. So Kulashekar Alvar is glorifying the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, by giving different names, okay, all connected to his different pastimes, different qualities, okay, which we already discussed and explained. So now we will read from this particular para, the all-merciful Lord. Okay. Sri Vallabheti, Sri Vallabha is just for the sake of Prince Prabhu, Arun Prabhu, and Saraswati Mataji, just briefly describe or explain about this. Sri Vallabhedi means, Sri means Lakshmi Ji, okay, Radharani, Sri, consort of Lord Sri Krishna, consort of Lord Narayana or Vishnu. Vallabha means master. So who is Sri's master? Lord Krishna. Okay, Narayana. Lakshmi's master is Narayana. So he is being addressed, the Supreme Lord is being addressed here as Sri Vallabha, the consort of Lakshmi ji. Varadeti. Vara means one who bestows benediction, one who gives vara, boon. Varada means, da means to give. Varada means who bestows or who gives the benediction. Yashoda. Yashoda means yashas, one who gives yashas, fame. Kirtida, one who gives kirti, glory, name, fame. So the Kirtida. And Narada, one who gives Narayana, is Narada. Like that, Varada, Varadeti. Okay. Varadaraj. There is a temple in, South India, Varadaraj. That means who is the master of bestower of all benedictions? Varadaraj. So Varadeti. So he is also addressed as Varadeti, one who bestows vara, benedictions or boons. Dayapareti, one who is so merciful, magnanimous. Okay. Daya. Even without our yogyada, even without our qualification, he is so merciful that he awards us so many things without having any qualification to receive that. Dayapareti. Bhakta Priyadi. And he is very dear to Bhaktas. That's the devotees. And devotees are also very dear to the Supreme Lord, both ways. Bhakta Priyadi. Bhavaluntana Kovidedi is very expert in plundering the Bhava Roga. Okay, what is Bhava Roga? The Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. The vicious cycle of birth, age, old age, disease, and death. So he plunders that. He removes that. He stops that. We don't have to take birth again and again if we have the merciful glance of the Supreme Lord. So he is so expert in plundering the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi of the devotees. Natheti is the master. Nagashayaneti, he reclines or sleeps on the Naga bed, Ananda Shesha. Jagannivasedi, okay, he is reside in the whole universe, or the whole universe resides in him. Both ways. Jagannivasedi. Jagannath. Okay, we have Jagannath, Baldev Sudramai in Puri. He is the Nath of all the universe. Jagannath, Jagannivasedi. Alapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. So what Kulashekar Alvar is telling that please let me become a constant reciter of your names, addressing you with all these, names connected to his qualities. That is in brief. So we have read till this para. From this para, we will read now. The all-merciful Lord is always mindful of our difficulties in the mundane world and is more eager to get us to return home back to Godhead than we are eager to go. It is just like, the children and the parents' relationship. The parents are so concerned about the children. They want the children to be disciplined, regulated, to become good citizens, nice, obeying, obedience children with good, characters, isn't it? Than the children. The parents are more concerned. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, who is our Supreme Father, is more eager to get us back home, back to Godhead, because he knows very well that we are rotting in this material world. So he doesn't want us to suffer again and again perpetually in this material world through the vicious cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. So he wants us to go back home, back to Godhead as soon as possible, being the Supreme Father. So that's what Prabhupada says. He's so merciful that he is awaiting our return to our original home. We have forgotten that we have an original home also. We think that this place is a happy place. We can enjoy maximum possible in this place. Although it's not happy place, it's a place of miseries. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalaya Machachudam. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Okay. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Repeatedly we are seeing this, experiencing this time and again in different species, 84 lakh species. Okay, we were human beings, now we are humans, we were animals, we were aquatics, we are trees and plants. So many times, multiple times, we have been through all these species and we have suffered a lot. We have undergone a lot of miseries and still we think that this place is good for us, we can enjoy here. We don't want to go back home, back to it. We have forgotten our original identity, we have forgotten our original home. But the Lord is so merciful that he is reminding us that this place is not meant for you. This place is full of miseries. Dukkhalayam, ashashwadam, temporary. What you are enjoying is not there for you to eternally enjoying it. Okay? The friends, the relatives, the parents, the society, all that you have the connection with, they're all temporary. It's a matter of time. 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 100 years, they will go. Nobody will be there with us. Okay. When the husband leaves, wife will not come with the husband. No. When the father or mother leaves the body, the children will not accompany. Everyone has to sail their own boat. Everyone has to fly their own aeroplane. Nobody will accompany. At the time of leaving the body, nobody will accompany. But who will accompany us? Only the Paramatma, the partial representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, no one else. So he is there eternally with us. He is coexisting with us. Even in the material world as Paramatma and in the spiritual world as Bhagavan. So he is so eager to get us back home, back to Godhead, because he knows that we are suffering in this material world. So he doesn't want his children to suffer in this material world. So that's what he's telling, that he is more eager to get us to return home, back to Godhead, than we are eager to go. Why we are not eager to go? Because we think that this place is very nice. We can enjoy a lot. But left, right, and center, we are being kicked by Maya. We don't know that. But still, in that kick also, we are trying to enjoy. This is our position. He is by nature merciful toward us, despite our rebellious attitude. What is our rebellious attitude? Prince Prabhu, what Prabhupada says, despite our rebellious attitude. What sort of rebellious attitude we are exhibiting?
We want to enjoy.
Yes, we want to enjoy. We are the master, we are the controller, we are the enjoyer, we are the proprietor. Nobody is above me. Everybody has to serve me. I am the center of attraction. I am the center of absorption. I am the center of appreciation. So this is our rebellious nature. Are we? In reality, no. We are not the proprietor. We are not the controller. We are not the enjoyer. We are not the master. But we think that we are everything. And everybody should serve me. I am boss anu boss. Everybody else should be das anu das. This is our thinking. Everybody should serve me. So this is the rebellious nature. We have forgotten the position of the Supreme Lord. He being the proprietor, controller, and the enjoyer. He is the Purushottama. He is the Uttama Purusha. We are no one. We are just an Amsha. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manas Shashtani Indriyani Prakristani Karshadi. So we are the Amsha. We are the part and parcel of that Supreme Lord. In this material world, we are struggling with our five senses, of which the mind is the central, sense, the sixth one. And we are thinking that we are enjoying. So even in our rebellious condition, we get all our necessities from him, such as food, air, light, water, warmth, and coolness. So even if the children runs away from home, the parents are so concerned, even without the children knowing that parents want to supply some necessities, some money, isn't it? That is their generosity because they are concerned. When Raghunath Das Goswami ran away from home to Puri to be in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the parents were so concerned. My child, my son, who has lived like a prince, because they are very rich. He is now going as a mendicant there, and to live in the company of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, living all the comfort. How can I see that? So let me supply some necessities to him. Let me send some brahmanas, servants. Let me send some grains and vegetables and food stuff. Let me give some money. But here Raghunath Das Goswami is relishing the company of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What he wants is love of Godhead, not the material facilities or material, grains and something like that. His enjoyment is the company of the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is his enjoyment. But unfortunately, his parents, Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar, the guardians, they don't understand that what Raghunath Das Goswami wants actually. His relish or his enjoyment is on a spiritual plane, which they forgot to understand. So that's the difference. So here, even though we are rebellious, Lord is supplying us everything. He is not telling that, okay, you are rebellious, you are not obedient, you are disobeying our instructions. So I will not supply you air, water, ether, and fire. All these things will not give you. Does he say that? No. Even though we are rebellious, he is ready to supply, and he is supplying us all that is required by us for our sustenance. Yet because we have detached ourselves from him, we simply mismanage his paternal property. Okay? We are exploiting our Supreme Father's property. Especially in the age of Kali, we are exploiting the nature, the material nature. Okay, there are so many things that material nature gives us. How we are exploiting? Sachi Mataji, can you please give some example how we are exploiting the material nature?
Prabhu, in the name of industrialization, we are destroying a lot of forest. And also Prabhupada says that, people cannot live by eating nuts, bolt and all those things, material things. You need actually plants. So that one thing we are exploiting. I was thinking about that Sloka, Prabhu, the higher, my energy only, but my energy actually lives by destroying, taking advantage of the lower energy. I'm thinking about it, I'm not getting that shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Uh, Human beings are my higher energy, but I'm just thinking about that shloka, but I'm not getting it. I don't know why.
It's 12th chapter.
Yes, Prabhu. Dharni Mataji, you know that shloka, Mataji?
7.5 Mataji, apareyam idastvanya Tanyam Prakriti
Padam
Jivabhutam Mahabaho
Mahabaho Edam.
Te Jag.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good, very good. Yes, Prince Prabhu is not there. Yes, got exited. Okay, Tarini Mataji, you want to say something? How we are exploiting the material nature?
For our greed, Prabhuji, like Mataji told, deforestation and for protection and for comfort life and all, we are exploiting the water resources and for safety, we think that atomic bomb and all safety, but that is not that won't be safe for us. Like that I think, Prabhuji.
We are misusing the water, the air,
Yeah.
then and we are polluting the environment, and
Yeah.
electricity we are misusing more than required. We don't value this because we take it for granted. It is there from the nature, so we can misuse it, we can use it how much ever we want. But the oil, digging the earth, and for taking oil, deforestation, and plus amassing and accumulating,
Mm.
by each one of us, according to our own capacity. We are all accumulating and amassing in a different varying degrees according to our own capacities, right? So we
Yes.
directly or indirectly, every one of us are exploiting this material nature, isn't it? In spite of that, the Lord is so merciful.
Merciful, he gives again.
He is giving us. He is giving us. Now this water, the bore wells in Bangalore city, it's all drying up. There's water shortage. It's now in Bangalore. Okay, it will spread everywhere throughout this world because we are misusing it. Actually, we should preserve all these things. This is God's given. Nature means God. He has given. So we are supposed to utilize, we are supposed to use it only whatever is required. There is a quota for everyone. We should not deprive these facilities to other living entities. We should not think that this is only for us or only for me. Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kinja jagadyam jagat tena tektvena bhutidam magrudha kasmi siddhanam. Okay. So everyone has been given a particular quota. One should not deviate, one should not encroach upon others' quota. So that's what here Prabhupada very clearly says. So this is the paternal property. This is not manufactured by us. This is not created by us. We are supposed to use the quota allotted to us only. We are not supposed to misuse that. So the leaders of society, despite all their materialistic plans, are misleaders, for they have no plan to revive our lost relationship with the Lord. Prabhupada gives a very good example. If there is a sack of rice on the street, the birds comes, will peck only few grains and fly away. If the man passes by that way, what he does, he takes the whole sack and put it on the shoulder and go home and store it. Are we not thieves? The birds want only few grains. It will eat that and satisfy. We want to accumulate for today, tomorrow, and for next year, and for next generation.
Generation, bro.
Generation after that, we want to accumulate. So there is no proper distribution. Is it not greedy? Every one of us, somewhere or other, we are all doing that accumulation. Although we may eat only 3 chapatis, not more than that. Prabhupada says that. How much will you eat? 3 chapatis, 4 chapatis, 5? But how much are we accumulating? So there is no proper distribution here. The nature is giving us abundantly, but some are accumulating, amassing, and storing it, and others are being deprived of that. So his bona fide devotees, however, try their utmost to broadcast the message of our transcendent relationship with him. In this way, the devotee work to remind the fallen souls of their actual position and to bring them back home, back to Godhead. So devotees are trying their best to educate others so that we can all go back home, back to Godhead. So the Lord, through this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other literatures, he is teaching us. The acharyas are coming, the saintly personalities are coming and teaching us, but everything will fall in our deaf ears, especially in the age of Kali. Nothing goes here. It goes here, ISKCON. ISKCON se suno, ISKCON se chodo. That is ISKCON. Actually, it should go here and it should penetrate into the heart. Such stainless servants. So what is stainless servant means? Of Godhead are very dear to him. Who are the stainless servants? The Acharyas, the saintly personalities, the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, who are so selfless, just like Srila Prabhupada, so selfless service. At the age of ripened age of 70, going to Western countries, New York, a city like New York, where he doesn't have any support, no money, doesn't know anything, no language also. It's very, he has a thick Bengali accent. The American accent is very difficult to understand. How he transformed those EPs. This is because of his causeless mercy. This is selfless service. So this is such stainless servants of Godhead are very dear to him. Even though he had 2 heart attacks, Krishna promised him, don't worry, I have arranged everything, you just go. So they receive such special favor from the Lord for their compassionate work that they can go back to Godhead in this very lifetime and not be forced to take another birth. So this is the compassion of the saintly personalities who are so selfless in their service to humanity. They want to see that all the human beings, not only human, all the living entities in due course of time should go back home, back to Godhead. So it is possible only from the human body. So their priority is definitely to transform the human beings because they have the higher intelligence to understand what is what. So Lord is therefore next addresses Bhakta Priya, meaning he who is very dear to his devotees or he who is very affectionate to his devotees. Both ways, Bhakta Priya. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.29, the Lord very nicely describes his sublime and transcendental affection for his devotees. So what is 9.29? Samoham sarvabhudeshu name deshu asti na priya. Is it? Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te tesu chapyaham. Am I right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. The Lord very nicely describes his sublime and transcendental affection for his devotees. There the Lord describes that although he is undoubtedly equally kind to all living beings, Samoham Sarvabhudeshu, because all of them are part and parcel of him and are his spiritual sons. Those who are especially attached to him by love and affection, who regard nothing dearer than him, are particularly dearer to him. So an example of such a pure devotee is Lord Jesus Christ. So Prabhupada is giving Jesus. Why he purposely gives the example of Jesus? Because he is preaching where? In the Western world. So he has to convince the Western people, especially who are followers of Christianity. And of course, he was a saintly personality, selfless, compassionate, Son of God, who agreed to be mercilessly crucified rather than give up preaching on behalf of God. He was crucified for what mistake? For spreading the words of God, gospel of God. He was never prepared to compromise on the issue of believing in God. Such a son of God cannot be other than dear to the Lord. Similarly, when Thakur Haridas was told to give up chanting of the holy name of Lord, he refused to do so, with the result that he was flogged in 22 marketplaces. So another example is Prabhupada is giving of Haridas Thakur. He was beaten in 22 marketplaces just for the reason that he was chanting the holy name of Lord, just for that reason. And Prahlad Maharaj persisted in disagreeing with his father, the great atheist Hiranyakashipu, and thus voluntarily accepted the cruelties his father inflicted upon him. So another example, Prahlad Maharaj, because he was not willing to stop glorifying the Supreme Lord, chanting the holy name of Lord. So his own father so cruelly punished him by inflicting upon him lot of miseries, throwing him from mountain cliff, poisoning him, and putting him in front of poisonous snakes, and putting him in fire, all sort of things, cruelties, yes. But he was so determined that he will not stop. Prahlad Maharaj persisted. These are some examples of renowned devotees of the Lord, and we should simply try to understand how dear such devotees are to him. So such devotees are very dear to him. Aham bhakta paradhino. Just 1 second. Sorry, Hare Krishna. So the Lord has emphatically declared that no one can vanquish the devotee under any circumstances. No one can vanquish his devotees under any circumstances. What is the sloka? My devotees will never perish.
Name bhaktya pranashyati.
Name bhaktya pranashyati. My devotees will never perish. Declare it boldly, Arjuna. My devotees will never perish. A good example is Ambarish Maharaj. When the great mystic yogi Durvasa deliberately attempted to take the life of Ambarisha, the Lord suitably punished Durvasa, even though he was a powerful yogi who could approach all the demigods and even the Lord himself. So the best example is given here is of Ambarish Maharaj. He was a pure devotee of the Lord. When Durvasa Muni came along with his so many disciples, so it was time for Parana, the Dwadashi day. So Ambarish Maharaj said, please come, O Munivar, along with your disciples, we can break the Dwadashi Parana together. But then the Parana time was getting over, so he was worried because if he doesn't break the Dwadashi Parana, the Ekadashi Prada is of no use. So he consulted with the Brahmanas what to do. Then the Brahmanas suggested, don't worry, just sip a little water, few drops of water. It is, breaking and not breaking also. But as he was doing that, Durvasa came. Oh, you are insulting your guest. So you are having your, prasadam without your guest. He got so angry. He created a asura from his hair. And the asura went to destroy Ambarish Maharaj, kill Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was so fixed in his love of Krishna that he never moved from there an inch. Whatever happens, if it is Krishna's will, let it happen so. So he was so determined and fixed in his devotion. And the moment the Asura went to attack Ambarish Maharaj, even without the knowledge of Vishnu, the Sudarshan came from his hand and killed that Asura and started chasing after Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was so scared and fearful of this Sudarshan Chakra. Even to Brahmaloka, Brahma said, I cannot do anything. Even to Kailash, Lord Shiva said, I cannot do anything. Even to Lord Vishnu said, even I cannot do anything. Aham Bhakta Paradhino. I am controlled by my own devotees. I cannot do anything. So you better go and ask forgiveness from Ambarish only. He can only do something for you. All the way back he came to Ambarish. It took 1 year. And Ambarish Maharaj was waiting. He did not break his this thing, what you call Dadashi Parana. Only he had sipped water. And after 1 year, he came, he begged forgiveness at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj, whom Munivar, please don't, I have no grudge against you. I have no anger against you. Please don't ask for forgiveness. And, then they both had prasadam together. So this, why? Because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Whereas Durvasa Muni, just for no reason, he got angry. Isn't it? And what happened to him? He went all the way to Brahmaloka, to Kailash, to Vishnu Loka, but there was no use. At the end of the day, only the devotee had to forgive. So that is what, Ambarish Maharaj story Prabhupada is giving. Okay. When the great mystic Yogi Durvasa deliberately attempted to take the life of Amrisha, the Lord suitably punished Durvasa. Sometimes even at the risk of having to cross many stumbling blocks, a devotee relinquishes all family connections and homely comforts for the Lord's service. So devotees have to undergo a lot of difficulties, okay, and they are willing to undergo that miseries just for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, because they find, they rejoice when the Supreme Lord is satisfied. So can the Lord forget all the sacrifices of his bona fide devotee? No, not even for a moment. For the relationship between the Lord and his devotee is reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal. So the devotees want to serve the Supreme Lord, and in return, the Lord wants to serve devotees more than what devotees have served. Okay, and the devotees again wants to serve the Supreme Lord more than the Lord has served them. Like that, there's a reciprocal, dealing, loving exchange between the devotees and the Supreme Lord. As he clearly says in Bhagavad Gita 9.29, whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So devotee is never as eager to see the Lord as he is to render service to him. The devotee is not eager to see the Lord, but he wants to render service unto the Supreme Lord. Yet the Lord does appear before his devotee, for he is just like an affectionate father. Even though they are not trying to have audience with the Supreme Lord, he wants to serve the Supreme Lord. But thus, being an affectionate father, he also gives audience to the devotees, who is more eager to see his son than the son is to see him. There is no contradiction in such a quantitative difference in affection. Such a disparity exists in the original reality between the Lord and his devotees, and is reflected here not only in the relationship between parents and children in human society, but even in the animal kingdom. The parental affection is there not only in the human society, but even in the animal kingdom, we can experience that, we can see that. Okay. See, there is a herd of cows and calves, there's so many cows, but the calf in the herd of their cows go and search for that calf's mother cow, isn't it? That calf doesn't go to any other cow, but to his mother cow only. So there is a natural affection even in the animals, not to speak of the human. So parental affection is exhibited even among lower animals, because originally such affection is in its fullness exists in God, the original father of all species of living beings. When a man kills an animal, God, the affectionate father, is perturbed and is pained at heart. We are not supposed to harm anyone for that matter, any living entities, because we have not created any living entities. So the Supreme Father is so much hurt. Just, we are trying to exploit other living entities, kill other living entities for our selfish interest. Thus, the slaughterer of the animal is suitably punished by the material energy, just as a murderer is punished by the government through police action. So, if there is any, any person violates the, civil law, they are punished, send them to jail, and given them punishment. Similarly, if we are violating the laws of nature, the Supreme Lord is punishing us. So by the mercy of the Lord, a devotee develops all the good qualities of God. For a devotee can never remain in the darkness of ignorance. Father is always anxious to impart knowledge and experience to his son, but the son can choose whether to accept such instruction. Parents are always concerned, keeps advising the children, but it is up to the child to accept or not accept. And sometimes, the children, oh, this now you are, backdated. Parents, that's it. Now it's time has changed, isn't it? Father, you don't know, the modern system. Now it's not your era, your age. Time have changed. Things have changed. Now we are living in modern era. So don't try to impose whatever you want on us, isn't it? The children will say that. But the parents, they have experience. We should listen to the parents. Okay, they have seen many things, many changes. So a submissive devotee becomes automatically enlightened in all the intricacies of knowledge, because the Lord from within dissipates his ignorance with the self-illumined lamp of wisdom. If the Lord himself instructs the devotee, how can he remain foolish like the mundane wranglers? Okay, sometimes the Lord himself comes, sometimes his representative comes. Okay, in different forms, the Lord sends us to educate us. A father is naturally inclined to act for the good of his son, and when the father chastises his son, that chastisement is also mixed with affection. Even though the parents may chastise or punish the children, it is for their own good. It's not out of anger that the father or the parents are punishing or chastising. It is because for their own, reformation, for their own good. It's not out of anger, it's mixed with affection. Similarly, all the living entities who have lost their place in paradise due to disobedience to the Supreme Father are put into the hands of the material energy to undergo a prison life of threefold miseries. So all the living entities who have lost their place in paradise. So what is a paradise? The Vaikuntha. As far as they are concerned, the paradise is Vaikuntha, the spiritual abode. So we are put in the hands of the material energy, that is Maya. And this Maya is Durga. Okay, Dukhalayam. Durga means fort, where we are confined to the four walls. The jail is, the victims are confined to four walls, isn't it? And we are confined to this material world, where we have to undergo the threefold miseries. So yet the Supreme Father does not forget his rebellious sons. He creates scriptures for them like the Vedas and Puranas in order to revive their lost relationship with him and awaken their divine consciousness. The Lord is so merciful that he arranges his pure devotees to come and help us as spiritual masters. He arranges scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all these things he arranges, because he knows very well that we are all suffering here. Some or the other, he has to take all of us back home, back to Godhead, where there are no miseries. So that's why he makes, the necessary arrangements to get us back home, back to Godhead. Intelligent persons take advantage of the knowledge contained in the scriptures and thus attain the highest perfection of life. So those who are intelligent will take the instruction given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and imparted by the saintly personalities, Acharyas like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and avail this very life to go back home, back to world. Those who are intelligent. Those who are not intelligent, they may have to come back again and again, till such time they become intelligent and take advantage of this situation. For his devotees, the Lord personally descends to this world to give them relief and save them from the insane acts of miscreants. So that's what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkridam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yugi yugi. For his devotee, he himself comes. So that was a time in Dwapara Yuga, towards the end of Dwapara Yuga, almost beginning of Kali Yuga, he appeared. Okay. For what? To release the burden of earth, to save the pious, to punish the miscreants. He comes personally. It is foolish to try to impose the limits of an ordinary living being upon the unlimited potency of Godhead and obstinately maintain that the Supreme Lord cannot dissent. So we should not impose our rules and regulation on the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is called Swarat. He is independent. He can come anytime, in any form, and as son of anyone, in the animal form, human form, Narahari form, that human and animal form, wherever he wants, in whatever form he wants, it is possible. We should not impose our rules and regulation on the Supreme Lord. To mitigate his devotees' material pangs, he descends as he is. Yet he is not infected by material quality. Although he comes down, he descends into this material world as a human being. One should not mistake that he also takes the qualities of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamagunas. He comes under the purview of this material nature. No, he is above that. Kundi Maharani says, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Isharam Prakrite Param. Isharam Prakrite Param. He is above the material nature. He is not under the influence of the material nature. Just like us. Although he comes in the human form, he descends to this material world just like us. But he is beyond the material nature. He is Paraprakriti. He is not coming under the clutches of Maya. Rather, Maya comes under his clutches. Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti, Suyade Sacharacharam, Edunanena Kaunteya, Jagat Viparivartade. That's what Lord Krishna says. So it is foolish to try to impose the limits of an ordinary living being upon the unlimited potential of Godhead and obstinately maintain that the Supreme Lord cannot descend. So we should not impose our imagination, our thinking on Supreme Lord. To mitigate his devotees' material pangs, descends as he is, yet he is not infected by material qualities. So he doesn't come under the clutches of his energies. He is superior to his energies. His energies are inferior to him. Hare Krishna. So please mark here this para. Next week will, as soon as a person agrees to surrender unto the Lord. I cannot mark here, that's why. Okay. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Vancha kalpatarubhesya kripa sindhu bhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Gop Premanandi. Okay, Hare Krishna. So any question?